it's Natalie for Cherry on Top here today, and it's Technique Tuesday. This month we are focusing on cut files. So I kind of did a little Frankensteining here, and I took a cut file that I had, which was the palm trees in the circle, and I cut off the bottom that said summer. I added in kind of like a free text of the word July. And then I added that rectangular piece on the side because I want to create a really large shaker pocket for my 8x8 album that is going to kind of be like a free-floating element in the file, you know, not within a page protector, because I wanted to combine like a patriotic page and a beachy page. And that's not really something that exists in like scrapbooking supplies. So DIY, like a little bit of a cut file situation is the best thing for pages like that, where, you know, there's not really printed stickers or other embellishments that will go with your photos. So cut files are really great for that. So I am using this Vicky Bouton paper that kind of looks like waves, and I'm going to use it to back the bottom part of the circle where it says July. And I'm not going to back the little loops that are sticking out of the circle. And so you saw me earlier, I had two of those. So one is going to be the front and one is going to be the back. And I do end up editing it a little bit because I didn't think it through properly the first time around. Or I guess I kind of thought that you were going to be able to see the front through the back. I thought that maybe I was going to put acetate over the whole thing. But once I decided to put the pattern paper in the bottom there, I didn't need the back side that said July. So I end up deleting that part, or like cutting that part out of the back side of the cut file. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. But right now I'm still just like sticking in the paper in the areas, and I'm loving how that's looking. I do it on the front and then I do it on the back. And this is where I realized, oh wait, I don't need it to say July because it's not see-through. So I took it off, and I'm just going to have it be plain waves on that side, on the back side of it. But I will add acetate at the top, so you will be able to see some of the photos through this piece on the layout that is like the other side of the page. And you'll see that in the final photos. I didn't do the layout on camera, but the final photos show like what this looks like up next to a layout. There we go. I'm loving how that looks. So we have a front and a back. I'm going to add one more bit of pattern paper. Is another Vicky Bouton page, but kind of beachy, you know, like a turquoise rainbow kind of thing. So I'm going to add that in a couple of the lines, and then I'm going to leave the rest to be backed by acetate so we can fill it up and make a shaker pocket out of it. I love cut files because you can do so many different things with them. A lot of times people just use them as the main element on their scrapbook page, but there's so many other options that you can do. I actually have another page coming up soon for a cherry on top where I use a cut file, and I made it small because I think a lot of times we forget that we can do that and kind of just use them as embellishments rather than like the main focus of the entire page. So there you have the additional pattern paper, and now I'm just kind of making sure that I cut a large enough piece of acetate to go in the rest of the cut file where I left it kind of blank, right? So I'm going to cut two pieces of this acetate. Now, I did learn a few things, which one of them was editing the back of that cut file, but the second thing that I learned was I probably should have minimized my use of glue. So if you're going to do this technique with the acetate, I would suggest using like red line tape or really sticky tape adhesive rather than glue. And this is why. So when I go to stick this down on the acetate, the glue squishes out because, right, the acetate is non-porous. And it works and it sticks. It just kind of made a mess. So I did a lot off screen of cleaning up where the glue is. I took like a wipe, I had to like clear it up. So it would be like a window where you could see through it. But it ended up working out fine. But I would just suggest you're still going to have to use some liquid glue probably around the edges where it's super skinny, where tape might not work so well. I mean, I have super skinny red line tape, but still, like those outside edges there probably are going to need adhesive or liquid adhesive. But I do wish that I had used more non-liquid adhesive because it made a little bit of a mess, but you live and you learn. So it works out. It sticks together. Another reason that I did two sides of this layout, of this cut file, was I really wanted it to be sturdy. Like I said, this is going to be outside the page protector in my 8x8 album. So I really wanted it to be nice and sturdy. And so when I put these two fairly sturdy cardstock pieces together, it really worked out well, to be very strong, especially once I added in the pattern paper and then the acetate. It made them really sturdy. I'm still just trying to match it up really well here. You'll see me pull it apart, and I do get it on there pretty easy this time, I think, matching up all the bits pretty well. But I am using the opportunity. I had more glue squeeze out, so I'm going to wipe up the excess adhesive that got on the clear acetate. So it's coming together. So I'm sticking together the bottom part and the side part. So now all I have is open around the acetate, and I'm going to use those Sizzix silver star, like little confetti pieces or glitter pieces, to fill in the rest of that acetate. And because I did not use any foam adhesive, like I didn't stick it up. So it is a shaker pocket. It's just not going to be as shaky as what a shaker pocket typically would be if you used foam tape, just because it doesn't have a lot of height to it, but there is still room for it to shake around in there. And I knew that, and that's why I added a lot of the confetti inside, because even if it doesn't shake that much, it just is there and it's going to sit and it's going to look awesome. So I'm loving how that looks. It looks patriotic, but it also looks very tropical. So I'm just going in with these Chamel tiny little silver letters, and I'm going to finish off the title on the front side of the cut file. It's going to say 4th of July. So I'm just adding the word 4th and of. I'm going to off screen do holes in that side rectangular part, and that's going to be the part that holds it into my album, right? And then on the back side, where I decided to take out the back side of the word July because I realized I didn't need it, I am going to embellish. And I had already glued some of it down, so you can kind of see like there's a little bit of ripped paper, but I'm going to cover it up, so it's fine. So I just pulled a few embellishments out of my stash. I have some hearts, and I have a star, and this little like banner tag. So I'm going to just add those on, and that's going to be this fun interactive element for my mini album complete. You stay tuned for the final photos of this element, as well as this element next to a 4th of July layout, because you can see through those acetate pieces. So I really like the way that looks, because it looks like we have like fun little stars, silver stars on our faces when you're looking at the photos through that part. But this is just a fun way to add an interactive element in a mini album. And hey, you could do this in a 12x12 album too, if you really wanted to. But I loved creating this fun interactive element with the Cricut. I cut it out on my Cricut with the cut file here. So I hope you've been inspired. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll come back here and check them out. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, y'all.